Retirement. That's what we're all aiming at, right? But exactly what does that mean? It conjures up visions of endless days of golf, drinks with little umbrellas in them on a tropical beach, feet up, reading a book. Is that what it's all about? I don't think so. Life would get pretty dull after a while without anything meaningful to do, don't you think? I'm Jacquie and I'm on a mission to discover exactly what life is like beyond retirement. Join me while I chat with people who've already done it, who've retired to something rather than from something. Let's find out together exactly what's waiting for us when we say goodbye to that 9 to 5.
Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Beyond Retirement. I'm your host, Jacquie Doucette. Today I want to dig a little deeper into a topic that came up in my recent conversation with Raymond Levine, long-term care, what it is, why it matters, and how it can impact the retirement you're planning for. If you missed that episode, we talked about how easily the vision of a carefree, independent retirement can be upended when caregiving needs arise. Whether for yourself, a spouse, or even a parent, it's something most of us don't think about until it lands on our doorstep, and by then, making decisions can feel overwhelming. So, I'm going to try to pull apart the key takeaways from Raymond's interview and turn them into a practical, clear roadmap so you can protect your choices, your finances, and your family relationships. Let's start with a basic truth. We all dream of freedom during retirement, travel, hobbies, time with family, or simply enjoying a slower pace. But as Raymond pointed out, the reality is that many retirees will need some form of care at some point, sometimes short-term after an accident or surgery, and sometimes long-term due to illness, frailty, or cognitive decline. And yet we rarely discuss it until there's a crisis. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. There's no immediate gratification. We're much more likely to plan a vacation than plan for a scenario where we might need help bathing, dressing, or managing medication. But waiting until a crisis hits usually means fewer choices, more stress, and often strained family relationships. If caregiving becomes necessary, everything can change, sometimes overnight. It often starts with small adjustments, home modifications like grab bars or better lighting, daily logistics like medication schedules, help with meals, bathing, or transportation. But there's also a ripple effect that can disrupt careers, family finances, and retirement plans. Spouses or adult children may need to step away from work to provide support. Expenses like in-home care or care facilities can mount quickly, sometimes forcing people to dip into savings or sell assets. And for those providing the care, burnout is real. Caregivers can end up in a constant state of worry with very little space for their own needs. One of the biggest takeaways from Raymond's interview was how often people underestimate the cost of care. Whether it's part-time help at home or full-time support, the costs add up quickly. And even people who consider themselves financially comfortable can be surprised by how fast those expenses accumulate. And it's not only the money. Caregiving costs time, energy, and emotional bandwidth. It can create tension between siblings. It can change a marriage. It can change the entire rhythm of a household. This is where Raymond's message really landed for me. Planning for long-term care isn't just about money. It's about maintaining dignity, preserving family harmony, and keeping your options open. You can't predict exactly when or if you'll need care, but you can put things in place now so you're not forced into decisions later. Raymond framed it in a way that I found very helpful. Long-term care planning is a form of delayed gratification. It doesn't feel urgent until it's urgent. But the earlier you plan, the more options you have. Raymond offered 3 simple questions that can guide your planning. Where do I want my care? At home, in a facility, a mix of the both? Who will be responsible for my care? My spouse, my children, professionals? And how will it be paid for? insurance, savings, family support, a combination. If you do nothing else, start here. I've got some practical steps that you can take, starting small and building on them as you go. Number 1, start the conversation early. Have a calm, no crisis conversation with your spouse, your adult children, or trusted people about your preferences for care, what you would and wouldn't want, and who you'd like involved. Don't assume people know your wishes, and don't assume they're able to help without talking about it. Number 2, get your documents organized. Make sure you have an updated will, power of attorney, healthcare directives, a list of key accounts and contacts, and a clear place where documents are stored and that you've told someone so they know where they are. This is one of the most practical gifts you can give your family. Number 3, learn what care costs in your region. Even a quick bit of research can be eye-opening. Look up in-home care hourly rates, assisted living costs, long-term care facility costs. Knowing the ballpark helps you plan realistically. Number 4, explore long-term care insurance or care plans early. Raymond emphasized that planning earlier when you're young and healthier often means lower premiums, more options, and better coverage. And he also pointed out that plans today can be more flexible than people assume. Number 5, make your home safer over time. You don't need a renovation blitz. You can start small with better lighting, secure rugs or removing tripping hazards, installing grab bars, and putting lever handles instead of doorknobs on your doors. Small changes now can prevent bigger problems later. Number 6, if insurance isn't an option, focus on what you can control. If you can't get coverage or you simply don't want to get insurance, there are still some meaningful steps you can take. Stay active and support your mobility. Eat in a way that supports long-term health. Avoid smoking. Keep up with preventative care. And declutter or simplify the space you're living in. These steps aren't going to eliminate the risk, but they can reduce it and make the future of care easier. And my final ideas about this: no one likes talking about getting older, let alone losing independence. But a little attention now, some honest conversations, and some simple planning can mean the difference between an empowered retirement and a stressful crisis. So, as you're looking forward to your next adventure, your next trip, or even just your next quiet morning with coffee, take a moment to consider, what would happen if I needed help? What do I want that to look like? Who do I want beside me? Planning might not be glamorous, but your future self and your family will thank you for it. Thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions or thoughts or stories about your own journey with caregiving and retirement, I'd love to hear about them. As always, you can reach me at retireabc@gmail.com.
And that's it for this episode of Beyond Retirement. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Are you ready to start rocking your retirement? Head on over to www.beyondretirement.ca/rocking it and sign up to plan out your own roadmap for retirement. Don't wait till it's too late.